Okay, a very good morning to all of you who are joining us from various cities of India. We have students joining from Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Thane, Hyderabad, Gurugram, Noida. So really amazing to see such a wide spread of students and the different students from various top schools from India. So a very warm welcome to all of you who are joining us today, and good evening to all the judges who are joining us straight from the state of Arizona, Tucson. We are here to witness the finals of the Uarizona Champion of Sustainable Planet. My name is Anju Singh, and I'm the Regional Director for University of Arizona based here in New Delhi, to help you navigate your career paths if you're interested in knowing more about University of Arizona, about our courses, scholarship, etc. And I've been joined by my colleague who's helped me a lot in making this happen, Apurva Salvi. She is based right there in Mumbai, and we as a team work here to assist the students in joining University of Arizona. So very warm welcome again. Talking about the competition, we started last year. When we started last year, we did not know that it's going to be such a huge event. It's going to be such a huge competition. We received about 131 nominations last year, and this year we jumped straight away to 327 nominations from various schools across India. So such a great achievement, I would say, and very overwhelming response. Of course, it was not easy to go through all the essays which were submitted. Each one of them we all went through, and we found that every essay had something really unique to say. So it made our job even more difficult, but we somehow managed to shortlist 8 teams. So really happy and very excited to announce those 8 teams today. But before I go there, I would like to welcome again our panel of judges. We have with us Stephanie Adamson. She is the Assistant Dean for Global Admissions and Enrollment at Arizona Global. A very warm welcome to you, Stephanie, and good evening. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Please forgive me while I'm dealing with some video issues, but I am here and I'm happy to join you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Then we have Professor Anil Agarwal. He's the Director of Corporate Partnerships and South Asian Affairs, Arizona Global, our reporting boss as well. So we are very happy and fortunate to have him today here with us, and an adjunct professor with Eller College of Management, which is our business school. So very warm welcome to you, Professor Agarwal. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Anju, and thanks for putting together this fantastic contest. You know, you guys did a tremendous job, and I know Stephanie and everybody in admissions and Carl, they're all going to be tremendously impressed with the caliber of students that we have collected. Amazing.
Thank you. And a very special, panel of judges is with us. Carl Pereira, he's the alumni for University of Arizona, and the alumni are the most important stakeholders for us, and they are the brand ambassadors for any university. They bring a lot of positivity into the entire gamut. And of course, we have Carl, who has done MS Hydrology and Water Resources at the University of Arizona from the class of 2019. So Carl, very special and very warm welcome to you, and thanks a lot for joining us. I know you're very busy, so it really means a lot to, for having you here. So thanks a lot.
Yes, thank you, Anju and Apurva. And it is definitely a pleasure and an honor to represent the University of Arizona and the Hydrology and Atmospheric Science Department.
Thank you. Now, of course, when we talk about our teams, they worked hard to, really hard to, be here today. So we just thought of, having them in order so that there's a continuous and, flow of the presentation without any issues. So in the first order would be the team Carwin, which is represented by Cherek International School, Hyderabad. They will be introducing themselves in a bit before they start their presentation. So they'll be going first. The second team is Samaritan Aerospace. That's from Delhi Public School, Archipuram, New Delhi. They'll be going next. After that is Walker's Ebenezer International School, Bangalore, followed by Eco Warriors, Lodha World School, Palava, Thane, Maharashtra. Project Umeed, represented by Scottish High International School, Gurugram in the state of Haryana. Green Rangers, the Sri Ram School, Aravali, Gurugram again. two teams from Gurugram this time, from the state of Haryana again. Team Imperishable, represented by Step by Step School, Noida, right there from where I am. And the Team Phoenix, Wales International School from Chennai. So welcome aboard again. And I'm sure you are aware of the timings and everything, so we'll keep you posted anyways. We're right here. Just to take you quickly through the rules and guidelines, they have already been with you through email, but very quick sort of recap. Each team will get about 5 minutes and 5 slides to present. So try to limit yourself within 5 minutes. Every extra minute taken by a team would attract negative marking. We don't want you to have that. So keep that in mind. It's really important, and considering the time constraint as well. Jury will have about 5 minutes for questions immediately after the presentation by each team. So keep yourself ready, brace yourself up, because you will get another 5 minutes to answer any questions which are being asked. Keep your cameras switched on while presenting. And of course, other housekeeping rule is that keep your microphones on mute all the time except at the time of your presentation. Apurva will give you a quick heads up when you are left with probably a minute or so, and she'll show this sign of starting the presentation and stopping the presentation. So keep an eye on that. We will try our best to keep you posted in terms of the time left there. And finally, of course, the awards, we just thought of taking you through again towards what you are going to be awarded. The winning team would be getting $1,000 additional merit scholarship for pursuing a bachelor's program at the main campus, which is in Tucson. You will also be awarded a Uarizona trophy to the school as an honor, certificate, and a Uarizona swag bag, as we call it. The first runners-up team will be getting a scholarship worth $800 to pursue one course from Uarizona Academy, through which you can earn credits. The students who are in class 11th and 12th can straight away go ahead and do these courses, and Apurva would be taking you through later towards what all is there on offer from Uarizona Academy. Again, Uarizona trophy is an honor to the school, a certificate, and Uarizona swag bag. And the second runners-up team would be entitled for a trophy as an honor to the school and certificate and Uarizona swag bag. All other shortlisted teams would be receiving an application fee waiver worth $85 to apply for a bachelor's degree program at the University of Arizona and a certificate of participation. So guys, go ahead, try and get it. We're really looking forward to hear what you have to say. Now over to Apurva to introduce the first team. Thank you.
Thank you, Anju. Thank you. That was a very great introduction. So I'd like to invite the first team, Carvind. Are all of you here, Carvind?
Yeah.
Great. Would you like to share your screen?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, well, give me a minute. I'll be sharing the screen.
Okay. So once you all are ready, just let me know so that we can start the timer.
Yeah, ma'am. Give me a minute.
So from Team Carvind, we have Anish and Samatva.
It says that host disables participant screen share. So I can't share the screen.
Anju, yeah, try again.
Into your settings.
Yes, we can see your screen now. Are you ready, guys?
Yeah, Anish, can you maximize it? I think you might be muted.
Anish, we can see your screen. Yeah. You just have to go on the first slide. We can see your sixth slide.
He is muted for some reason, Apurva.
I'm sorry, give me a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Carwin by Anish Konatala and Samatva Cassett.
It's
Yes,
still
we can
not.
see it now. We can see it now. Yeah.
Just make it full screen.
So guys, I'm just going to begin your timer and, keep an eye out for the stop sign also so that you know exactly when to stop. Okay. All the very best, guys. And your time starts now.
The problem. The world is rapidly running out of fossil fuels and we don't have a viable alternative yet. A lot of fossil fuels are used to fuel automobiles and are greatly affecting the environment. We need to make our automobiles more efficient by using streamlined designs and efficient fuel use to try to cut down on fossil fuels. But this in turn takes up a lot of money and resources. So we thought of something different. The world sees air resistance negatively, constantly trying to remove it. But we saw air resistance as a source of energy that could be harnessed. So our solution is a wind turbine situated on top of the car. This turbine will have a constant source of wind while the car is moving due to the displaced air molecules. This allows it to generate electricity constantly. The main problem with wind turbines is that they don't have a constant source of wind. The wind turbine is small, so the car encounters minimal air resistance and is not unbalanced. It also is retractable and retracts when there are adverse conditions, such as thunderstorms. The turbine can also rotate to find the direction which causes the least drag and most wind.
Product.
Yeah.
We chose HAWT windmill for design, and it produces much more energy than its counterpart, the VAWT windmill, the wind turbine. This wind turbine is 0.9 meters tall with 0.7 meter long rotors, and the pole is streamlined to decrease air resistance caused by it, while the rotors are designed for maximum lift. The wind turbine is connected to an anemometer to monitor the wind speed, and if the wind speed is over 90 kilometers per hour, the wind turbine retracts as it's detrimental to the turbine. It also is connected to the car's digital interface. From there, it monitors the weather. For example, if the weather forecast shows thunderstorms, then the signal is sent to the wind turbine and it retracts. The wind turbine can also function while the car is parked or switched off, and then store the energy in a battery.
Yeah, Anish, please change the slide. I don't think
Yeah.
you're changed.
I am, right?
No,
I'm on the fifth slide right now.
Yeah, now you do.
The wind turbine is the one-time investment of about 3 lakhs. The amount of energy produced by the wind turbine is variable as it's dependent on the wind speed and the amount of time that the person drives. The wind turbine will generate 1.1 kilowatt when the wind speed is 60 kilometers per hour, and this amounts to approximately 75,000 rupees per year. So in approximately 6 years, the windmill will have a profit margin. Another benefit of the windmill is that the wind turbine is that if the car runs out of fuel, the wind turbine can sustain a car up for 8 kilometers, and this is only for electric cars. This project can be used worldwide in all countries with cars, irrespective of climate. People will be able to generate clean energy, and this product is much more efficient than other renewable sources of energy and allows the user to generate his own energy while doing a simple everyday task. This project can be scaled up by implementing it in a community, and then we can possibly interact with car manufacturers about implementing this idea in cars. Thank you.
Apurva, are you ready to start the Q&A?
Yeah, guys, we have like 45 seconds from your presentation. Is there anything else you want to add, or should we
No.
start with the Q&A?
Yeah, I wanted to add something. So for our revenue versus cost, even though it'll take 6 years to get your worth back, the thing is that as long as you're getting it back, it's still a benefit. It's still a positive impact on the environment. So when you keep that in mind, it's actually worth a lot more.
It also doesn't have any carbon dioxide emissions and no gas emissions, and it generates electricity without any of them, so it's also eco-friendly. And it also uses eco-friendly biodegradable materials as well.
Okay, stop. Thank you so much, guys. Time for the jury to indulge in the question and answers now.
So Anish, I had a question for you. Is this supposed to be a turbine that is totally independent, or is this going to be a combined backup program along with a fossil fuel car? So is it a either or is it a backup solution? Or are you recommending a dedicated solution with the wind turbine?
Well, what I mean is that this will be situated on fossil fuel cars and electric cars, but the fact that this will only be able to power electric cars, while on fossil fuel cars, this will just store electricity in a battery, so you can use it for everyday needs.
So it's an option in a fossil fuel car then. It's not an
Yeah.
independent
It's,
option,
it's
right?
an integrated feature.
It's an
it will be-
integrated feature
yeah.
in a fossil car or a electric car.
Yeah.
In both, it's
I see.
integrated, but it's more useful in electric cars because it can also power the car up to 8 kilometers.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Agarwal. Stephanie, Carl, any of you can come forward to ask the team some questions.
So do you envision, Anish, do you envision production of this turbine in a plant by itself, or is the turbine going to be produced by the car companies?
I actually envision this being produced by a plant itself and then being integrated through either mergers can be used to integrate this, or that when two companies will work together for this. Because I don't envision
And-
car companies producing it because it'll be variably different, each one.
Okay.
It,
So
initially,
from a cost benefit perspective, do you expect the savings from the wind turbine? How are the savings going to be generated, Tamatwa?
yeah, so the wind turbine, the thing is that after 6 years, you will get your cost back. So the amount of money you've spent on the wind turbine, you'll get the worth of all of that. And obviously you'll get more. But the main benefit of this, in my opinion, is that you're avoiding the use of fossil fuels. So even though the cost is an added benefit, but the fossil fuels, avoiding the fossil fuels is what makes it really viable.
But this will add cost to the initial price of the car by 6 lakhs. Is that right?
No, sir, we said 3
3
lakhs.
3 lakhs. Okay. So it will add the cost to the car by 3 lakhs, and it will take 6 years for that cost to be recouped. Is that right?
Yes, approximately, but
that's-
then current is also, like electricity also undervalued. So if you look at it in a different perspective, it'll be generating 1 kilowatt of electricity per hour. So
I
if you look
see.
at it in that perspective, it'll be generating a lot of electricity, which can be used in your daily needs.
Okay.
That's
All right.
yeah.
And it provides savings on your current bill as well.
Okay. Thank you. Please, somebody else has a question.
Stephanie and Carl, we have a minute and a half. Any of you can come forward.
Can you tell me a little bit about how that stored energy would be transferred to other uses besides the vehicle itself?
Well,
Yes,
it's stored
so-
in a battery. So from that battery, you can use it to power other devices.
The battery is removable from the car, so you can after it's charged, you can take it out and use it to charge something else or power something.
And we want to mention that this actually, the battery we're talking about, that it can integrate itself into 2 batteries. One is the one we can remove, and one is the car battery itself. So in a flick of electric cars, it can either connect itself to car battery so that the car can function, or another removable battery which we can use for everyday needs.
You contemplated
Samatva,
the concerns
sorry,
with this
Steph.
equipment attached to the vehicle?
I'm sorry,
Please
can you
repeat.
repeat?
I was thinking about some of the safety considerations for having such equipment attached to a vehicle. And if there were any sort of concerns around liability or.
Yeah, we did have some safety features. Like we told you, like there's a risk of a lightning strike hitting the turbine because metals do conduct electricity. So what we thought of is like retractability. If we need to, we can retract it, and that's for safety. It's manually retractable. At the same time, it's also retractable by checking the wind speed and the weather conditions.
And also, it's a miniature design, so it shouldn't have any implications with safety of other vehicles and areas.
As we mentioned, it's miniaturized so that it doesn't cause the car to be unbalanced and like cause a high car collision. And ma'am, we also have stabilizers built on the back of the car to support the windmill just so it doesn't fall backward due to the forward force.
Thank you. This is very helpful. Carl?
So, have you considered any of the drawbacks with like due to drag, and would that offset be offset by the increased fuel consumption as well?
Well, we did
Yes.
consider drag, but we streamlined the pole, and we've also mentioned about how the wind turbine will be tilted to provide minimum drag and maximum wind output, maximum utilization of the wind.
And the thing is that the increased fuel consumption is likely less than the benefit you'll be getting out of this turbine. So yeah, I think we're almost out of time.
Yeah, you can go ahead and answer this last question if it's incomplete. Yeah, but unfortunately the time is up for the question and answers. Do you want to add something, Samatva?
No, that's okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much, jury. And we'll move on to the next team now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Carvin.
Thank you.
Apurva, you want me to announce?
Yeah.
Okay, we now invite Samaritan Aerospace, the team which is from Delhi Public School, Arkipuram, represented by Advitya Singhal, Siddhansh Narang, and Garv Jain.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
You
I'm
are.
audible too. Yeah. I'll just bring up the presentation just a second.
Yeah. Please let me know when you all are ready.
Sure, ma'am. Just a second. Yeah, I believe the screen should be up now. Is it visible?
Yes.
It's still loading. Yeah,
It's still loading.
still loading.
Right.
Yes, it is visible now.
Perfect.
You might want
it's visible
to
now.
put it in full screen or something. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. I'm having some issues with my device. The screen keeps blinking up. But can you try presenting it, but I believe
I'll
there's
try.
some issue on mine. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, sure. So are you guys ready? Team Samaritan?
Ma'am, there's some issue
Ma'am, just a
presenting.
second.
I'll just
Yeah.
present.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you please promote me to co-host so that I can share my screen? Thank you, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Just a second now. Is my screen completely visible, or is that still there?
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
Visible.
Visible. Okay, do you all want to begin?
I think we'll just start with the introductions.
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, I think I'm set. Agarwal, are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. So I think we'll start up now.
All right,
Greetings.
great. So your time starts now.
Greetings to all the participants and judges. As shown in the slide here, the team roster is shown. Next slide, please. Can you go to full screen, please?
Yeah.
Let's start off with the problem. Pollution is a silent killer, with air pollution alone taking over 9 million lives last year. Recent research shows that it's too late for individual effort, and hence arises the need for corporate and government collaboration to solve this issue. Small commercial vehicles are responsible for a huge chunk of this pollution, along with causing traffic jams, gridlocks in major cities. Agent-based deliveries are expensive and time-consuming. Hence our solution, Kylie, an autonomous unmanned aerial system for package delivery. This is a fully electric system with zero emissions, with an optimized design to minimize cost while maximizing efficiency. The environmental friendly technological stack combined with a novel business plan are beneficial to all entities and, of course, our planet.
Our design hopes to curb air pollution and is compliant with 3.9.1 of the UNSDC Charter. On screen, we can see the harmonic, the FEA, and the CFD simulations of the design, which shows the device efficiency and readiness for the market.
In the short animation, we show the salient features of the UAV along with a 3D walk-around. All our main product, all our unique selling points can be seen in the video here. So from all this, we can assert that our model is fast, efficient, and emission-free.
The UAS is fully autonomous and houses a lot of sensors to achieve that. The use of the latest technology allows us to provide cybersecurity and uses advanced DRL DQN network. Citing the pandemic, the design is capable of contactless loading and unloading. In the diagram here, you can see the placement of various components inside the UAV body and the fly-by-wire. The following are the specifications of the UAV. In this animation, a simple flight of a UAV prototype is shown, complete with a realistic environment and flight parameters.
A great business model is necessary for quick adoption by the masses. The package delivery industry in 2020 was valued at $500 billion and is projected to grow at a fascinating rate of 22%, delivering over 100 billion packages an annum. The cost of each UAV is around $7.7K with the following breakup. Our target consumers will be e-commerce giants like Amazon, Alibaba, etc. Since the UAV is faster and does not have fixed working hours, it can work as much as 4 delivery agents. Therefore, it can save at least $150,000 an annum. Such UAV systems already exist on a smaller scale to deliver medicines in Africa. In most cases, sustainable development ideas are not implemented because either it's not profitable for the big corporations or it's just too expensive to implement. However, when implemented correctly, Kelly Partum will help e-commerce giants save a lot of money for the people. And it will also increase employment and make deliveries cheaper and generate high revenues for the company. All this while battling climate change and air pollution, therefore benefiting all the parties involved. This makes sustainable development inevitable because where the money speaks, everybody listens. Thank you.
Thank you. Just on time. Thank you so much, team. That was great.
Yeah.
I'd like to invite the jury now. for the question and answer. Also, a very kind request to the jury to stick to maximum 1 or 2 questions so that we are all on time for the rest of the teams. Thank you. Stephanie, you may come forward, or Carl, Professor Agarwal, please.
Please remind me, what was the maximum payload? It was 35 kilograms?
Yes, ma'am. The maximum payload capacity is 35 kilograms, while the maximum takeoff weight is 67.
That was my only question for now. I defer to Carl or.
Yes, I had a question. So do you know what are the current and existing regulations for unmanned aerial vehicles in India, especially?
Yes. Yeah, we're well aware of that. This specific aircraft, for example, was designed based on FAA regulations. Now, the FAA regulations for hobbyists is different than the regulations for a commercial enterprise. Therefore, the higher payload, for example, for hobbyists, it's 25 kgs. But for small enterprises or companies, the payload requirements are the payload allowance are much higher. And that's why our UAV has a much higher takeoff weight. And that's why. Go ahead.
I would also like to add that the governments are keen to like bend the regulations if there's a good cause behind it. For example, in India, the government is like actually pursuing vaccine delivery using UAVs. So that's why it can be assumed that the government is keen to like change the regulation if there's a good cause behind it.
What is the maximum range for this thing, Aditya?
Sir, so the range actually depends. It's quite flexible on how much battery pack you can have. So the speed we have is around 100 kilometers per hour. We have the speed. So it depends. Yeah, so it depends on how much the consumer really wants.
Yeah, the UAV has been optimized to fit any mission parameters. So your typical UAV can vary from a intra-city delivery for Amazon to a cross-country flight for delivering vaccines or delivering emergency supplies in case of any disaster. So that's why we're flexible in that.
Wonderful.
So some of these sensors they've used to make it an autonomous vehicle, they have been adapted from road vehicles. Is that right?
Sir, so we have taken 2 parameters. One is the Skydio drone. It is the high-end autonomous drone which can actually follow you and do photography and everything. It can follow you through trees and everything. So that is one parameter. And we have also, for obstacle avoidance, we have also taken Tesla as a benchmark, because Tesla is the leader at obstacle avoidance, and the way it combines radar and camera technology to avoid obstacles without using very expensive technologies like LiDAR and everything is actually very impressive. So we have used that here as well.
Yeah, in fact, we've even tested our initial DRL, DQN code on AirSim based on Unreal Engine to get an idea about how our code will perform in a natural environment and how our drone will actually fly when the program is actually in control. And we've actually received some very pleasing results from that too.
So you guys have developed a prototype already?
No, actually funding is the main problem for that. So actually the model that you see here, that's ready to 3D print actually. And we've done complex simulations also, and we've determined that this will actually fly. But the cost is a huge issue, especially getting the funding at a high school level is next to impossible. So yeah, that's not very likely at the moment.
Perfect. Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does this take off and land kind of like a traditional aircraft, or does it kind of go up and down?
So
yeah, it goes up and down, just like the Osprey or the Harrier jet. So it just
like
goes up.
Just like your normal UAV, it can go up and down and tilt its rotors once it wants to go in horizontal flight. But for vertical flight, it can go up and down like a normal drone, the normal kids quadcopter you see, which goes vertically.
Yeah.
So it would land on like a street or a top?
Yeah, it can land in a very compact space as well.
Yeah, so the landing length that we need is just a 3x3 area. So it can practically land anywhere.
Fascinating. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Great. And with that, time is up for the Q&A. Thank you, team Samaritan. That was great. All the very best. Over to the third team now, from all boys team to all girls team. The third team is Team Walkers, Vani and Pragnya. Are you all here? Team Walkers, you're requested to come forward.
Yes.
They are sharing their screen, Apurva.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Please let me know when you want to begin and when you're ready.
Okay.
Ma'am, I'm unable to share because when I share, it says that I can't mute my microphone.
Pragna, your screen was just loading, I think. So, do you want to
No,
try?
ma'am. When I share it, it says
Yeah.
that I can't talk. I can't like unmute my microphone.
You can't unmute your?
Microphone. I can't speak.
Oh, okay. That's strange.
Do you want me to screen share?
Sure.
Ivani, you try it once.
Yeah. We don't have any restrictions. You can mute, unmute on your own. Yeah.
Because we can very clearly hear you now.
Yeah.
So hopefully that shouldn't be a problem.
Yes, we can see your screen. Okay, girls, let me know when you want to begin.
So I'll start now.
Okay, so your time starts now.
Greeting judges of the jury and fellow participants. I myself am Vani Sinha. I'm from Ebenezer International School and I'm from grade 11.
Good morning, everyone. I am Pragna. I'm a junior at Ebenezer International School, and we're very honored to be here.
Ms. Ritika is the head of career counseling at EISB and she's our monitor. When we're having a lot of this issue, can we start it again? Is it okay? There's something happening. I'm not able to present. Hello?
Don't worry. Do you want to reshare?
Yeah, it's something happening with my device.
Okay.
I'll
just pause your timer. Don't worry.
Yeah, because Pragna has been doing it like while practicing, so.
Yeah,
so
that's totally
sorry.
fine, girls. That's
Yeah.
totally fine.
Ma'am, I'll try again. 1 second.
Yeah. Do you want to share it with any of us to share?
Yeah, we can do that.
Everyone else, please keep your mics on mute. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you see our screen now?
Yes, we can.
You'll have to move the tab. Yeah, now we can. Now we can see your screen. Are you girls comfortable? Can we start?
Yeah, now we can start.
All right.
Should we start?
Yeah, I'm just going to resume back from where you stopped.
Okay.
So yeah, you can skip the introduction and you can go straight to your content.
Okay.
Thank you. Start.
So e-waste and Bangalore. E-waste is an abbreviation of electronic waste, consisting of unwanted electronic products, in other words, electronic waste. These products could be products we use every day, like mobile phones, laptops, printers, or they could be products used by companies or offices, such as fax machines, surveillance cameras, and many more. So one might wonder how this creates a connection to the city we live in, which is the city of Bangalore in India. E-waste in general is one of the fastest growing waste streams globally. India is the 5th largest generator of e-waste. Bangalore is known as the Silicon Valley of India, as it is India's leading IT hub, and it is one of the largest IT hubs in India. It justifies Bangalore being the 3rd largest generator of e-waste in the country. Bangalore produces around 100,000 tons of electricity e-waste annually.
How is e-waste managed, one might wonder? To answer this question, we need to start from the beginning of the process, which starts at an electronic company, which produces electronic goods. These goods are then consumed by consumers, and once they are not of any use or stop working, they become e-waste. E-waste is usually hard to manage for developing countries such as India, and this is a huge environmental issue growing day by day. In countries like India, which are developing countries, they have found it harder because they don't have the funds required for the management products. Several information campaigns have come up for increasing awareness, as it is critical to promote environmental friendly e-waste management programs. This issue should be taken into action instantly for the improvement of practices like collection schemes and management practices for the reduction of e-waste. Reduction of hazardous substances from electronic products is essential and will also help in dealing with e-waste streams and help in prevention of e-waste.
Our solution. When I was younger, I was living in Germany. I came across a lot of reverse vending machine. The picture is shown in the slide. To those of you who are not familiar with reverse vending machines, these are machines that weigh and scan your bottle glass jars according to the weight, shape, and size of the item, which later goes down the chute for either recycling or shredding. And the machine hands you a voucher with the added money that you can cash in the billing counter. We wanted to bring this particular concept to e-waste. We want to create a reverse vending machine for the benefit of e-waste management. Then instead of glass bottles or jars, citizens could dispose of their old e-waste and earn vouchers or discount codes. Reverse vending machines should be found in all major electronic shops that can take up the cost of the machine. So the cost of the vending reverse vending machine would be around $3,000. Cost of electricity is $313 per machine. Cost of changing equipment is around $300 to $400, and taxes is $100. So in total, approximately is $3,813 to $3,850.
Benefits. What are the benefits of this machine? This machine can provide employment opportunities to many people who are into electronics. It also helps reduce e-waste to an extent. It is also very cost effective since huge corporations can afford them easily since they can use parts from these e-waste machines into their electronic products. So in conclusion, e-waste has not been taken seriously in the past and has caused a huge impact on the present world we live in. These actions could help manage e-waste and create a safer environment. Precaution against e-waste is very essential and should be implemented as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, girls. You have another 20 seconds. Is there anything you want to add?
Nothing in particular.
Okay, so can we move on to the Q&A?
Sure, yes, ma'am.
Great. Over to the jury for the Q&A. And the time starts now.
I had a question for you about the voucher. Is there just sort of a standard amount that someone would receive for turning in these products? Or how would you establish the value for different types of items?
It would be, we put a special cost for specifically for changing the programming. And so it will be programmed on how much money and how much voucher, how much discount one would get according to the object they're giving.
Yes, ma'am. It varies.
Yes, so are these machines in use currently?
No, they aren't. We search for it. And it's shocking that it isn't in use because it's such a simple concept that people haven't thought of.
Did you factor into the costs of this? Someone would have to come and collect the items and then take them somewhere else. And so there'd be some employment opportunities and some costs associated with maintenance.
Yeah, yes, somebody would have to come and collect it. I'm sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you repeat?
See that in the costs, but maybe I missed it.
Huh. I'm really confused. I don't know. Can you say it again?
I was just trying to figure out how that fit into the costs of the equipment. So someone buys the equipment, do they then have to pay for someone to maintain the equipment, to to collect the materials that are put
Oh,
in?
we mentioned that in the big companies in India specifically would be buying these companies. So yes, they will have to maintain it themselves.
That would be something they would take on.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
So the cost of the machine, Vani, is $3,800. How do you expect that to be recouped by the corporations, or who is going to put those machines out there? Are these the corporations? Are you suggesting the city does that, government does that, or the companies do that?
So it's mostly the city does that, and so the companies could buy it, and this is a benefit for the company as well, because they will get those products which they could use again, and some items are pretty expensive anyway, so it's going to help them in general. So they're going to get all the money back. Like if they did spend around $3,500, for example, they're going to get all the money back, because they'll be getting their used stuff.
Okay.
So how will the machine be able to differentiate between the quality of the products returned, or some might just be junk material and some might not be?
There is a specific program. There are programs which is specifically there's mobile. For example, mobile devices have some special like metallic thing which can be figured out by some kind of programming, like some for a magnet or something, and they can figure out what magnets are more expensive or something. According to that, the voucher would be given.
Jury, we have another minute.
So one of the things that you mentioned in the slide was that this was an employment opportunity. Can you tell me a little bit about the types of roles or positions that people would have in the company?
Sure. Yeah, Pranay, go ahead.
So basically, like if someone is working in electronics, like they're interested in electronic engineering, they could help develop these machines. And even normal labor who work in normal machine factories could also help in making this machine. Once they are they could have like a program where they learn for a few weeks and then they can be given the basics to do this. And this would create employment.
And I wanted to add one point, as this is in India, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of engineers who are ending up not like being unemployed. So this is just creating an extra platform for them.
Okay, thank you. With that, the time is up. Girls, thank you so much for the lovely presentation. Thank you, jury, for excellent questions. Team Walkers, all the very best. Stay tuned and over to the next team, Team Eco Warriors. So from Team Eco Warriors, we have Abhinaya and Hyra. Can we have you all here, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, shall we start presenting?
Yeah, do you want to try sharing your screen once before we start the time?
Ma'am, it's showing host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, why is that?
No, you already are.
Yeah,
you
you
already
already-
go first. Just try once again.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm able to. So may I begin?
Great. So we can see your screen. You can begin with your introduction and your time starts now. All the best.
Greetings, respected jury and all the participants. Going up for work, to school, or on a holiday, the coronavirus isn't going to leave you alone. We need to carry our sanitizers and other cleanliness items together. But is it good enough? Not only for ourselves, but for the planet. We have a solution, NV-Pods.
A scientist named Leo Baekeland invented a synthetic, fully artificial polymer bakelite. After a few advancements, it was eventually named plastic. Plastic does not need an introduction. There is a 97% chance that you are likely to see it at this moment if you look around. It has many uses. Starting from packaging to killing planets, plastic can be used anywhere. That was not a joke. Undoubtedly, the root cause for many environmental issues is plastic. The global pandemic started in 2019 and is not going to end anytime soon. It has contributed fully to make this plastic situation get worse. The day-to-day human consumption of single-use plastic has escalated. As you can see in the graph shown, we believe that the rise of plastic waste generation with the plastic production is due to not being able to find efficient ways to dispose of plastic or find alternatives to plastic. Enter NV pods. But before that, let us consider the seriousness of the issue. The annual production of hand sanitizers in India pre-COVID was 10 lakh liters. Post-COVID, it rose to 30 lakh liters per day. About 2.4 billion single-use sanitizer bottles are discarded as a result of the pandemic.
What are NV pods exactly? Well, they are sanitizers with 0% plastic. Yes, with 0% plastic, can you imagine? The liquid sanitizers is covered with a protective biodegradable capsule-like casing, forming a jelly-like structure, which is called a blob. Several such blobs are placed in a container that should be eco-friendly and convenient to use. Paper bottles solve this problem. NV pods might be slightly expensive, but are definitely worth it for our planet. As the sanitizer is already placed in a biodegradable casing, the chances of the paper bottles causing any concerns are negligible. Till date, there has been no known 100% biodegradable sanitizer bottle. Let's get to know about the procedure, shall we? First comes creating the sanitizer blobs. This is sodium alginate, an extract obtained from brown algae. Adequate amounts of sodium alginate is added to any liquid sanitizer and set aside for 15 minutes until the bubbles disappear. About 2.5 ml of this mixture is immersed into a solution of water and calcium chloride. Eventually, after 3 minutes, it will form small jelly-like floating structures which need to be rinsed in clean water. And voila, they are now ready for use and are completely biodegradable. Next is the packaging, manufacturing the paper bottles. Old cardboard sheets and paper bottles, old cardboard sheets and papers go through a pulper and are then molded into paper bottles in the required shape. Lastly, the final solution, the paper bottles together with the sanitizer blobs inside results in a comprehensive solution. That is NV pods, the savior.
Thinking practically and looking at the bigger picture, we have listed down a few benefits and drawbacks of NV pods. With the drawbacks, here also comes a new set of innovative ideas to make our project more sustainable. So the first one, sustainable packaging. The reusable, recyclable cardboard packaging is far better than the plastic and cheaper than the glass. So say with me, no more single-use plastic sanitizer bottles, just eco-friendly NV pods. The lightweight and fancy NV pod boxes can be taken anywhere and refilled again and again. NV pod manufacturing units could also provide job opportunities and will help in overcoming the economic crisis, not only in India, but across the globe due to the pandemic. NV pods are made naturally and their packaging is from recycled waste. What else do you need? Safe for your hands, safe for the earth. Now, coming to the drawbacks. The first drawback of NV pods would be a low shelf life as compared to the regular sanitizers. This problem can be overcome by research and release of new versions of NV pods. Secondly, and the most important one, years have passed by and our dependence on plastic has just increased without looking back. This dependence, along with the ignorance and never-ending demand for comfort of the human civilization, has led us to where we are now. At this point, there is just one ray of hope, awareness. Awareness among people regarding nature and their health will help the ever-rising graph of plastic killing to come down. And when we reach the point where people will buy eco-friendly NV pods rather than comfortable plastic sanitizers, we will feel that we have returned at least a 0.00001% of giving this planet against what it has given us.
The problem that we are facing right in the wake of the pandemic are complex, but we cannot forget about one while solving the other, can we? Through our initiative, we intend to reduce the impact of the issue at hand to a greater extent. There is no planet B, so we need to act now. Thank you. Now we open to your questions.
Thank you, girls. The OCD in me is definitely looking forward to these sanitizers. Okay, so over to the jury now. We can start with the question and answers.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the shelf life and how this product is best stored and transported?
I think we thought a lot about the transportation, because first we thought of glass bottles because these are blobs and these are alcohol based blobs. So glass bottles would be better, but then that will be a lot more expensive. So we came up with paper bottles and the paper boxes, and these cardboard boxes can be used. I think these boxes can be used these boxes go well with the, I'm sorry, I'm nervous, well with the eco-friendly blobs. So I think, yeah. And the transportation of these blobs as well, it is better than the glass, because while transporting the glass bottles could break, but these are paper cardboard bottles. So these are much better, inexpensive and safe.
Would they have to be stored at a particular temperature for a longer supply?
No,
No, you can
Not
carry them in
required.
your purse.
they are as comfortable as the regular sanitizers.
Have you created a prototype of it yet?
Actually, we've tried with it a little bit, but it did not work out really well. But we are actually improving on it.
So how costly is it as compared to the plastic?
It's a little bit costly. It's not that much, and that much should be done for our planet. Like for a regular pocket-sized sanitizers, it usually in the market it costs about 30 rupees, and our NV pods might cost probably 35 because of the cardboard and everything. And we'll actually using recycled cardboard and paper waste.
I see. Okay. Have you approached anybody to see if they would give you an opportunity to manufacture this or produce it?
We haven't approached yet, but we have been researching it on it. Like we came across YBI, Youth Business International, which actually supports young entrepreneurs and small scale industries. So we are looking into it.
Terrific.
Can this biodegradable blob be adapted for different other products? Or do you have to change the formula for each different product you use?
No, it's very transparent actually. It can be used for different types of sanitizers. It can be used for alcohol or non-alcohol based sanitizers. It's really convenient.
Yeah, I think my sort of asking whether it can be used for other products other than sanitizers as well. And would you have to change the chemical formula for it?
You mean products like soaps and
Yes.
shampoos? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
We haven't gone through that area at the moment. We restricted ourselves to sanitizers because of the COVID and the surge in plastic pollution because of that.
That's great. Any follow-up questions, Jury? If not, we can move ahead.
Have you guys thought about the impact of this on the planet at all? Any estimates on how much plastic you can reduce?
Yes, actually a lot. In India, there's a ban coming up on single-use plastic next year, July 1st. So it has been really important to come up with such plans. So it can reduce plastic drastically. Because of the COVID, people are going to continue using cleanliness measures and using sanitizers. So it will actually drastically improve the situation.
Thank you.
That's great. Any more questions or anything that you want to add? Great. So
as the parent of smaller children, young children, I would say I'm just a little bit concerned that it looks like something you could eat. So you might want to think about the packaging and make sure that that no one would think that it's some sort of food or snack.
Yeah, actually, we thought about that. Like even the regular sanitizers, children can drink it, thinking water. So we've gone through that area. We'll look into this. We haven't actually gone through this. We'll take better measures.
So we can write it on the package like cross for children below 30 years or something like that.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, girls. Thanks, Stephanie, Professor Agarwal and Carl. Great questions. Halfway through the grand finale, 4 more teams to go. I'll now call upon the next team. We have Project Umeed, from Scottish High International School.
Ma'am, before we start, firstly, is our prototype model clearly visible? We have a separate.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, it is. You're talking about the blue jars, right?
I have
Okay.
spotlighted the video for everyone. I hope it is clearly visible for everyone.
Right. Please let me know when you want to begin so that I can start your timer.
Ma'am, firstly, are we clearly audible and visible?
You are clearly audible. Your prototype is visible. Yeah. Do you want to begin?
Ma'am, firstly, before that, Yash, should you share the screen?
Yes.
Okay. We can see your screen. All right. All the very best, Project Umeed. Your time starts now.
Good morning. I am Divit Chopra.
And I am Yash Moitra, and we will be presenting to you Project Umeed, our project which was mentored by Dr. Sundar Sasteva, our senior school principal. We are from Scottish High International School. So, why Project Umeed? Project Umeed combats the lack of rural electrification in India, a country home to more than 890 million villagers. At the heart of the Indian electrification problem is the way the government defines an electrified village. Essentially, if 10% of the village's households have electricity access, it is considered electrified. So, what about the remaining 90%? Well, according to the government's own GARB database, only 8,000 villages in India are completely electrified, leaving more than 98.75% without electricity access. Moreover, this is a problem of inequality. As you can see on the map on the screen, electrification in India is concentrated within bubbles, leaving villages without reliable light, heat, and water pumps to sustain their crop yield. This is where we come in.
What is the big idea behind Project Umeed? The big idea behind Project Umeed is the biofuel cell that we have invented called the Enhanced Catalytic Substrate Fuel Cell. At the center of our Enhanced Catalytic Substrate Fuel Cell is our own ECS substrate, which comprises of 3 components. Number 1, sugarcane/beetroot extract. Number 2, cow dung. And number 3, topsoil/benthic mud, with each component playing a specific role in the working of the model. What role do these components play? The sugarcane provides glucose, the cow dung provides bacteria, and the benthic mud, in addition to providing bacteria, maintains the optimum temperature for the bacteria to survive. What role do they play in the working? Well, the bacteria anaerobically respire to break down the glucose that is present in order to form hydrogen ions and electrons. Now, since the ECS is present in the cathode chamber, which is indicated by the color brown, these ions and electrons are present in that chamber. Now, via the salt bridge, which is a small PVC pipe connecting both the containers that is shown on the diagram, these hydrogen ions and electrons travel from the cathode to the anode. The salt bridge contains frozen agar-agar jelly, which acts as a portal. Now, what does the anode contain? The anode contains salt water. The hydrogen ions and electrons react with the dissolved oxygen in the salt water in order to form additional water. And the remaining electrons travel back through the copper wires connecting both the containers, thus creating a circuit and a flow of electrons that generates electricity. This is a novel model. And at the core of our team and our core of our model is our working prototypes. We have 2 types of prototypes, that is a low scale high fidelity prototype and a high scale high fidelity prototype. And we have conducted a range of tests on both of these, namely the voltage test, the odor test, and the durability test. And they have yielded excellent results. The highest recorded voltage for an individual low scale high fidelity prototype is 0.46 volts. And of a high scale high fidelity prototype, which is a generator configuration of our model, is 1.1 volts. In fact, the prototype currently present on your screen is producing 0.55 volts, lacking 1 cell. Our cell thus produces more electricity than any other biological fuel-based cell currently in existence. Now, Yash will go on and explain the business model that is behind our plan.
Right. Now, coming on to the commercialization outlook for our project. First of all, let's talk about the budget breakdown. At a cost of just $11 to produce, we have successfully created the cheapest and most cost-efficient biological fuel cell in operation in the entire country. The first step in our commercialization outlook is the diversion of government funds from GDFs to manufacturing and the manufacturing and distribution of our cell, wherein we will start expanding our outlook into villages and start actually mobilizing the technology. The second step would be initiated with investment, wherein we would open the Umeed Fund. This would help us improve our regional distribution and move beyond just the villages near our cities. And the last step would be where we expand into more than 5,000 different villages in India, and where we can really just maximize our outreach with the manufacturing and distribution partnerships that we will be forming with PSCs and VLAs. With these steps, we are going to tackle the Indian electrification problem and fundamentally change the way that 98.75% of Indian villagers live. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have another 25 seconds to go. Do you want to add something?
Yes, ma'am. Just a few additional mentions that actual villagers and migrant laborers have helped us build these prototypes, thus these prototypes are a source of employment for them. And secondly, these prototypes use components found in an Indian village, thus representing the key link to Indian rural culture that is clearly indicated by our project. Thank you.
Thank you. Time up. Thank you. That was great. Project Umeed. Over to the jury. Time for the Q&A.
I'm sure, Carl, you have some great questions.
Yes, so could you tell us a little bit more about the electrical output in sort of more general terms? Because like what would be the amount of electricity produced, and like what could you actually power with that, and for how long?
Right, sir. Definitely. So our generator model is the one that is built for commercial use. Our generator model currently produces a 1.11 volt maximum, and it continuously rises. That's another good part of our project. The electricity produced by it increases over time, right? So as of now, even we don't know the maximum limit of electricity this can produce. However, since the electricity is produced in direct current, it will be converted into, it will be stored in lithium-ion batteries. And there are 2-volt lithium-ion batteries that exist. Instead, lithium-ion batteries will be used to power bulbs present in villages. Our model is unique because it can act as a primary source of electricity generation in villages away from rural areas that require less electricity, and a secondary source in villages close to urban areas that require a higher electricity output.
So literally, how long can this work in terms of nighttime, from 6 o'clock till 12 p.m. all night? If somebody wants to do their homework, how does it compete against solar energy, David?
Right, sir. Sir, it runs 24/7. It does not stop, number one. Number two, solar energy requires time to store and is much more expensive. Our cell cuts down the per kilowatt hour cost, the lowest per kilowatt hour cost of electricity that is present in Indian villages. It cuts it down, it saves money for the villagers. Moreover, our current model has been working since the past 2 months continuously, when it has reached its maximum peak voltage and is constant. It does not change. In addition, if I may add, our durability test, in which we applied pressure on the model, despite the components being displaced, the model still produces electricity that is completely constant. Thus, it simply does not stop.
You said that you have worked with, real people that helped build the prototype and use the prototype. What kind of feedback have you gotten from them?
Ma'am, the most evident feedback of them is very positive. When we were actually building the model, we saw that around 4 or 5 villagers or migrant laborers who live in the area, they stood there. In fact, for the entire 3 hours we took to build the model, because they were so fascinated by how it works, because they use cow dung in their everyday lives. And they were interested to know how we use that cow dung in order to generate electricity for them. Thus, the feedback was clearly positive. And since we are allowing the villagers to themselves learn how to make that project, they can go on and make countless of these cells and power even their own villages, because the project is that easy to make.
So there is a simple question then. What is your competitive lockout? Anybody can make this.
Sir, our competitive knockout is our biological substrate. Our biological substrate runs without a catalyst, and it runs in a proportion of 1:2:2. And our biological substrate, without platinum, without nickel, without any enhanced chemicals, produces more electricity than they actually do. In fact, research studies over the past 20 years on MFC-based models and biological fuel cells all show a voltage output that is lesser than our project. Our project is not easy to make in the scientific sense, rather it is easy to assemble with its different components that are provided. Thus, it can be created if we teach the villagers by them, thus creating them independent, just making them independent. That is the whole purpose here. It's to make villages independent units of development that are in tandem with the country's economic and social development as a whole.
Okay.
Another 40 seconds. Any more questions?
We talked a little bit about the lithium batteries, right? Can you tell us a little bit about the environmental impact of using those?
Ma'am, these lithium-ion batteries are very small. Thus, they have negligible environmental impacts. These lithium-ion batteries are used in everyday use. In fact, they are commonly used in electrical circuits and components that are on a small scale like this. The lithium-ion batteries simply have to be connected to the wires of the prototype, and they will be recharged, and thus they will have the amount of power they need to provide in order to power the appliances that we're putting forward. Thus, it has zero environmental impact. In fact, the main objective of the project is to cut down the environmental impact, reduce carbon emissions as a whole, and even up to that extent, save crop yield from dehydration, because water pumps in villages run on electricity. And here, if you're providing them a constant source of electricity, we're even saving their crops from dehydration. Thus, our project has widespread positive impacts. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks a lot for that. Project Umeed, as the name says, hope, right? It does have a lot of hope for us to have a more sustainable future. So thanks. It was really, really amazing presentation. And thanks all the judges for the questions. Moving on, we are, if you can stop sharing would be great. Moving on, we invite the team Green Rangers represented by the Sriram School Agarwal from our very neighborhood, Gurugram. The team has been mentored by Maitri ma'am, and the students who are participating and would be presenting today is Sadika Anand, Mishika Joshi, Divita Chaudhary. So I welcome you all to share your screen now. Are you all there?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Just a second.
Is the screen visible?
Yes,
Very
it
much.
is.
Just a second. Is it still visible?
Yes.
It is.
Okay, great. Can you hear all of us? Just
Very
doing a
clearly.
testing.
Very loud and
clearly.
clear. Girls, are you all ready? Do you want me to start the timer? Okay, great. Here you go. The time
Just a
starts now.
5 minutes. It may seem like an insignificant amount of time, but lives of millions of people around the world can be majorly impacted in these 5 minutes. In just 5 minutes, we can make ourselves a cup of coffee, scan the newspaper for current affairs, or even cook some noodles. But in these same 5 minutes, about 70 tons of waste is generated in India. Shocked, aren't you? But do we ever realize what happens to this waste? We simply just throw it and forget about it. But there's no such thing as throwing away. Everything we throw must land somewhere. Most of this waste ends up getting accumulated in landfills. In today's world, everyone is pressed for time and there's no proper solution, mechanism, or even incentive for waste segregation and management. But all it takes to efficiently segregate the waste is, again, just 5 minutes. So we, Green Rangers, present you a solution to tackle the growing waste management crisis of our country in just 300 seconds, also known as 5 minutes.
Our solution is a website which helps people track the amount of waste they dispose of and recycle using a reward system. Tracking here means to check if people are regular with segregating their waste. What we do is act as a middleman and connect the household waste with environment organizations who can recycle this waste into useful products. After the user makes an account on our website, they have to segregate their waste daily and they'll receive points for this. On hitting certain milestones, they receive rewards like gift vouchers. The rack pickers will collect this waste and check if it's segregated at source or not. They'll be educated about this process and this generates employment. In a nutshell, our business is to convert waste into useful products. This will support the economy and help the environment.
Now we'll talk about the features of Track Your Waste and what we plan to attain our aim of making societies more mindful of their waste footprint. Firstly, we plan on tying up with MyGate, a society security and management app used by most societies in our community. This will help us connect with all households of a society on a single platform, making it much easier to check and confirm the waste segregation at source, as well as to keep a record of points and rewards. All the segregated waste of a society would be measured all together to provide them an estimation of the recyclable waste and in turn give them a green credit based on it. Secondly, we plan on tying up with 2 environmental organizations, GEM Enviro Management and Namo E-Waste, which will recycle the waste collected from the societies to create sustainable and profitable products from them. We've connected and pitched our ideas to all three of these organizations, and they've all agreed to how beneficial our services may be to them and have confirmed their support for the same. In fact, we even conducted a survey to check the feedback of people in different societies, which we weren't able to include due to the time constraints, and have received immense amount of support and positive feedback. Next, we plan on ensuring that the rag pickers of each society play the role of collection in our system. And we will also conduct awareness campaigns and provide all the free technical assistance required to them. The other features of our website include the point system based on regularity of segregation, the provision of environmental videos and manual guides to further strengthen the awareness and incentive, and lastly, the promotion of small sustainable entrepreneurs and their products to try and reduce the waste generated in the first place and move a few steps closer to complete sustainability.
So here's our flow of paper notes. Commission from organizations, advertisements on our website, commission from entrepreneurs selling products is our money in. Money out is maintaining the website, giving MyGate and the societies money, labor charges, marketing, and transport. Here's how we'll collect our funds. We would ask our friends and families for money. We will apply for an Innovation in India loan, which grants funds for technological innovations. Being an all-girls team, we would also apply for a women entrepreneurship grant. We will urge corporates to share this responsibility of sustainability management by contributing from their CSR funds. And here is our financial deck for year one. We will put in a seed capital of 10 lakhs and we'll try to procure investment from angel investors, which is worth 2 crores. Money paid to societies would be 12 lakhs as year one incentive. Money paid to MyGate would be year one incentive, which is 6 lakhs. Garbage trucks plus fuel is 90 lakhs. Miscellaneous is 5 lakhs. Because this is we're doing maximum promotion. So 25 lakhs is allocated for that. Incentive and rewards is 10 lakhs. Website creation is 3 lakhs. Maintenance is again 3 lakhs. GST 12% on our whole business is 18 lakhs 48,000. So our total would be 1 crore 72 lakhs 48,000. Now, we'll be asking the environmental organizations to pay 50 paisa per kg. That leads to 1 crore 82 lakhs, giving us a net profit of 10 lakhs just in the first year, which is pretty amazing for a startup.
This is our future vision board. So after a year of establishing ourselves, we would like to seek investments from private equity funds. We would also like to set up our own recycling plants so that we're not the middleman anymore, but we're collecting the waste and recycling it ourselves. We would also like to switch to an app as it's more user-friendly. We want to grow our customer base to different cities across India and set up a waste management system in rural areas. We want to interact with policymakers to make waste segregation mandatory in India. We want Track Your Waste to be the one stop for all of India's waste management problem. So join the Track Your Waste movement and clean your own mess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Over to the jury for Q&A. The time starts now.
Very impressive presentation, girls. Thank you very much. You guys worked very hard on it. My first question is, how do you build the awareness for such a project in a country that is, there is so much of waste at every corner and every part of the big cities and everywhere. The infrastructure is so poor. How would you collect that? I mean, do you intend to start small and then grow it big? What is your vision for that?
So, as you mentioned, we're starting in societies first. So the way we'll go about making the awareness is by connecting with MyGate. So MyGate is an app that a lot of societies use, and everyone has that app on their phone. And there's a notice board with current affairs and everything that's happening. So we'll create awareness through that and tell people to join our website through the MyGate app. And through MyGate, we'll also incentivize people to join, talking about the rewards and the point system and all of that. So we start with society, by society, and then in one city, and then we move on to other cities, and then we move on to the rural areas.
Also, before starting, we'd like to conduct mandatory webinars with societies about how to go along with the waste segregation process. We already have talked to some societies and they were very keen on joining us, and they said that they would be conducting webinars for the same. So the process will be pretty smooth with societies, and we might approach schools later on to create awareness. It's more about the first step is always creating awareness and then moving forward. So workshops, mandatory webinars, all that will create awareness. And if you still don't get the process, we have videos and manual guides which will explain the whole process to you, and then you can move forward with your segregation.
Okay, thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the incentives and the rewards that you'll be offering to encourage people to participate?
So what our system is that whenever our users, they segregate the waste, the rag pickers are going to come when they're collecting the waste using our website. They'll get to check and put in record whether that particular household has segregated the waste. Now, depending upon the regularity, people will get points. So, and furthermore, people who are like regular for a certain number of times, for like a streak of 3 times, they'll be featured on the notice board, so that again it's encouraging people to segregate the waste more. And after reaching certain number of points, there'll be certain rewards, for example, Amazon gift cards or certain cashbacks. It's just it's just to create that incentivization.
This incentivization process works like the popular app in India, Cred. So basically what happens is that whenever you pay using Cred, you get some certain rewards ranging from 4 rupees to 48 rupees. That's exactly what we're trying to do, because what we've noticed is that incentivization is also one of the keys to success. People do get attracted when you're incentivizing. So Cred has become very popular because of their incentivization platform, and that's what we hope to do.
Thank you.
So who's the target audience as a user of this website and future app? Are you thinking that this would be mostly adults, young adults, kids, a combination, anyone in a house? It seems like in many families, the responsibility for taking care of this is pretty distributed, right? So who's your target audience?
So we're conducting like webinars because there are many people, even in our urban families, who've never ever segregated waste. They don't usually segregate the waste. They just throw it outside, and then the rag pickers come, sometimes segregate it, sometimes don't. So firstly, we're going to be showing them, we're going to have mandatory webinars for them. And based on these webinars, firstly, we're going to try and create awareness. And we don't have a specific target audience in terms of like age group. It's more about like the urban society residents at the moment. Slowly, when we come to our app, we'll further develop our algorithm and try to reach our rural areas, most importantly, because there are many people who don't have any idea about waste management there.
So the person who uses the website, it would differ from household to household because it depends on who is managing the waste in that household. So therefore, there's no particular target audience, but the people who are managing the waste.
Yeah, there's no age restriction to it. Anyone and everyone can use it. It's a very simple website.
Yeah.
Right. So, Apurva, do we have more time?
No,
or should we go ahead?
We're up.
Great. Thank you there. Thanks to the Green Rangers team. Very green idea. I hope your idea gets a green signal as well. So moving on, we would be now reaching to the second last team. We are happy to invite Team Imperishable, represented by Step by Step School from Noida, from Delhi NCR region. This team has been mentored by Krishna Gogoi and represented today by Aryan Nath, Parnika Gupta, and Miriam Khan. So we welcome you all to take the stage on to present your idea. So go ahead if you're all there. All the best.
Yes.
Your screen is visible in case you want to check.
Can you hear us as well?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, totally.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Great. Your time starts now. All the best.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Parnika Gupta.
I'm Miriam Khan.
And I'm Arjun.
We're Team Imperishable, and today we're presenting our idea of using artificial intelligence as a tool to manage food wastage.
Nearly 40% of food produced in India is wasted every year due to fragmented food systems and inefficient supply chains. This causes farmers to expand their land or enhance the resources in order to improve their yield, resulting in an impact that is prominent for both man and wildlife.
The slide in front of you portrays a clear comparison between the amount of food that is produced in our country and the percentage of it that is wasted. As per the estimates for 2020 to 2021, the total food grain production in India is estimated over 783 billion kilograms, out of which 40% is wasted and during the production, consumption, and landfill process. 73% of it drops in landfills, while 14% of the population remains malnourished.
In simple terms, AI can be defined as a simulation of human intelligence processes by machines, especially computer systems. Our team has investigated the application of AI at 3 separate levels to find viable solutions whose impact can be viewed at a local level. So we'll begin with pre-consumption wastage. Firstly, in agriculture, data from drones, remote sensors, satellites, and smart farm equipment can provide farmers with valuable real-time information on soil, crop health, and weather conditions. This could aid farmers in making smarter decisions on factors such as agricultural location, optimal crop rotations, and ideal sowing, harvesting, and composting periods. Secondly, farm technology detecting changes in temperature, soil fertility, water, presence of pests, etc., can track the quality of the produce. If AI detects negative changes in any of the involved factors, the production could be halted so that the product is not wasted. Lastly, farm-based food supply chains can become increasingly efficient using visual imagery technology during food inspections. AI-enabled tracking can assist retailers to sell food before it spoils, and algorithms can forecast and predict sales, enabling restaurants and retailers to connect more effectively with the supply and demand when ordering food.
As for wastage during consumption, at restaurants, customers often waste abundant food. This could be minimized through garbage bins containing AI sensors that detect and record the food items squandered based on the frequency and amount wasted. This will enable chefs to modify portion sizes and encourage them to incorporate a more reasonable load of produce required to serve an average number of customers daily. AI can also assist in solving the farm overproduction problems by collecting data from supermarkets, farmers markets, and grocery stores over a period of time, tracking which food items have been previously wasted. This enables demand to be predicted with higher accuracy. The data should be season-specific, area-specific, and easily accessible through a phone app where producers and sellers can input their recordings, preventing future overproduction.
Food scraps are often thrown into garbage disposals and collected in landfills. AI-operated robots that carry the wet waste from apartments to a common dumping area, forming compost, could act as a solution to this problem. This compost would serve as a safer and more sustainable alternative to manure and soil fertilizers that are commonly used. Smart sorting of waste products can be employed in such cases. Smart bins for sorting garbage are a viable solution. The bins collect data on the disposed waste through sensors. It examines and compares the trash with the previous data and decides what is to be done with it. Through its capability of processing large amounts of data, AI holds the ability to reveal hidden root causes of food waste and assist in actively reducing it.
As represented on the map, recent research states that 50 kgs of food waste is generated per person in Delhi NCR annually. The DLF Mall of India in Noida generates around 36,500 kgs of food waste annually. 27 million kgs of food are discarded from each of the 400 Delhi locations of the Safal outlets, a grocery store. If the edible food waste generated by Safal is diverted, an estimated 2,000 people could be fed daily. Currently, only about 10% of the discarded food is used sustainably to feed the less fortunate. Recently, India slid to the 101st position among 116 countries in the Global Hunger Index, 7 places down from last year. With our idea of using artificial intelligence to reduce food wastage, not only can we protect the environment, but we can also reduce the high levels of hunger and malnutrition in our community.
That's it.
Thank you, team Imperishable. Yeah, we're almost time up. Just 5 more seconds, and we can begin the Q&A. Over to the jury for the Q&A.
Could you clarify and just simplify what exactly is the product and the end users, because there seem to be a lot of different products and a lot of different users as well?
Yeah, so our responsibility, we're basically providing them with an application that integrates AI with, so we have 3 different levels of food-based management, starting from the farms, then to the consumption, and then post-waste management. So our product is the AI. that's been integrated with multiple devices.
So we as producers are responsible for actually developing the AI interface. We sell this license to private organizations that take care of the subsequent costs.
So for example, you talked about using smart equipment in farms. So who would be providing this equipment to the farmers?
Like I said, the actual interface and development of the artificial intelligence, making the algorithm, all of that will be our responsibility. But the subsequent costs will be going to whoever invests in us, whether that's a government organization or a non-government user, based on their personal requirements.
And incentives for doing so would be because they're basically drawing a margin between the production and the consumption. So they are avoiding overproduction, and hence instead of investing resources on producing crop or food that is not actually utilized, they can further invest the resources on the drones, etc. That, so for example, a typical drone just costs about rupees 5,000. So managing that and integrating with the application would make it much more feasible with them.
And even though it sounds like it has a high upfront cost, the end user of our AI app will generate savings immediately upon implementation, because the algorithm will be able to forecast and deliver a potential option to manage the supply-demand equation so that they're not producing or ordering more than what the demand is. And this was seen by a company called Uarizona that adopted similar technologies in their kitchens. And kitchens were able to save an average of over $25,000 a year. And there were clients that could even save up to $200,000 or more.
Okay, thank you. Let the other judges.
Have you guys incorporated anything in terms of food wasted in India based upon refrigeration, and how much food is wasted because products are not refrigerated and just transported by themselves and they get totally wasted and destroyed?
So this plays into consumer behavior where consumers tend to buy a lot more food than needed, which is why it gets wasted when they're being refrigerated. Fixing this problem will start in us investing in consumer awareness. It goes hand in hand with the AI, because it's a likely possibility that the reduction of food wastage becomes stagnant after a certain period of time, even if the AI is implemented, which means it's very important for consumer awareness to play a role.
Okay, thanks.
Do we have more time, Agarwal, or any?
Yes, we do. We do.
Any follow-up question, jury, before we move ahead?
I think one of the most interesting parts of your presentation was, and I appreciated it very much, was how you talked about the pre-consumption and predicting demand, like really trying to get out ahead of these issues rather than sort of addressing them at the end, but really trying to change behavior from the start. So I don't actually have a question there, but I just wanted to applaud that mindset. I think that was an interesting approach, and I appreciated it.
Thank you, Stephanie, there. Thanks for all your questions and for your presentations, guys. Now we are moving to definitely the last team, but not in any case the least here. We welcome the team Phoenix now, represented by Wales International School, right from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. The team has been mentored by Ms. Manju Kavindra. The participating students today, we have Manju is the name of the mentor, and the name of the students are Kavindra Sengutuvan and Adit Goyal. We welcome both of you to start your presentation. I hope you have the co-host rights. If not, let us know now.
My teammate Kavindra does not have the co-host rights.
Okay, we'll try to make her co-host. Give me a moment. Yeah, go ahead.
Kavindra, you start screen share.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes. Are you guys
There's
ready?
a black box. 1 second. There's a black box in the side.
Is everything fine?
No, there's a black box type of a thing on the right side. Can everybody else see it? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What black box exactly, ma'am?
I think it's the Zoom Zoom thing.
It's the Zoom meeting then. I don't think I'll be able to do anything about it.
Okay, I
Is it
think if
fine
you
now?
go to,
Yeah.
this is
yeah.
fine.
It
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
it
fine.
just minimized. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Better.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
Oh, okay,
Hello,
Kavitra
everybody.
and Adit. Yeah, your time starts now, guys. All the best.
Hello, everybody. My name is Adit, and I'm here with my teammate Kavitra, and we'll be talking about environmental stability with nuclear reactors. The world has so many problems. One such problem is pollution. The world is very polluted. What is the source of this pollution, you might ask? The major source of pollution is using non-renewable energy. Sources of energy such as fossil fuels, which are cheaper than renewable energy like solar panels, are the major cause of pollution. Many countries have started the change to renewable sources, but there are many more countries who do not have the finances or the resources to make such change. These countries are underdeveloped and they really cannot do anything about it. The solution to this is to switch to nuclear energy for the time being. Although many people think of nuclear energy as unclean, this is not the case. I would have to agree that some amount of radiation pollution is emitted in the mining of radioactive materials, and there are many ways to minimize this. The amount emitted is very small, and the deaths caused due to this is very minimal or very less compared to the deaths caused by air pollution. As population increases, as population increases, the energy demand increases. Thus, the time left to make the change to other forms of energy is very less. The world is already suffering from climate change and global warming. This makes it even more important to switch to other sources. Nuclear energy supplies about 10% of the world's energy demands, as you can see in the graph. This is very small as compared to fossil fuels, which supply about 70 to 80%. This number has to reduce. This is the reason why we are proposing to switch to nuclear energy for the time being until we can get the energy, until we can reduce the energy used by fossil fuels to net zero, and until such a time when the underdeveloped countries have enough resources to switch to renewable energy. Our solution is to use SMRs, or small modular reactors. These reactors are nuclear fission reactors. Like other reactors, they convert thermal energy to electricity. This thermal energy is released in large amounts in the reaction where the nucleus splits and lighter nuclei are formed. There are totally over about 150 different varieties developed by different countries around the globe. Out of this, two are most significant. They are thermal neutron reactors and fast neutron reactors. Thermal neutron reactors rely on a moderator to reduce the speed of neutrons, and they use uranium, whereas fast neutron reactors use nuclear fission to absorb neutrons traveling at high speeds, and they use plutonium. And now Kavitra will move with the next half.
Looking at its benefits, its modular design, that is its scalability, can be facilitates it to be manufactured offsite, which reduces building costs, increases containment efficiency. And its lower thermal power in its core enhances safety and security, hence less reliance on active safety systems and additional pumps, and AC power for accident migration. Hence, its production reduces the strain on non-renewable sources, decreasing pollution indirectly, and increases time for countries to invest their economy to buy materials for renewable energy like solar panels and wind turbines. Its critique design cools itself without any additional power, water, or operator actions. Looking at its consumer cost, it's $60 for 1 megawatt hour. That is, it's $60 for 1 hour in which energy produced is 1 megawatt. It can produce from 0.068 to 500 milliwatt electric, and it can provide 40,000 jobs to be created between 2030 to 2050. Looking at examples, there is one called TMSR 500, which produces 500 megawatt global power produced by Thorcon in Indonesia, and Rolls-Royce SMR with 440 global power units produced by Rolls-Royce in UK. Thank you. And its cost is like 15 to 40% less than normal nuclear powers, which is a great economic impact on the country. Thank you.
Great. On time, guys, on time. Thank you so much. Over to the jury to start with the Q&A. The time starts now.
So is this Adit, is this model already out there? The way you explained it, it seems like this smaller reactor is already available and you are proposing some kind of modification. Is that correct?
Yes, that is absolutely correct. We are just trying to, the thing is that this reactor, this model, the thing is already there, but not many people know about it. And nobody is really taking action against climate change at the moment.
I see.
Do you all have any thoughts about how you all would get this to be implemented in different countries, or encourage various government organizations and agencies to build these?
Yes. So USA and UK has started doing this, but they say that they'll be ready. The first nuclear reactor will be ready in 3 to 5 years, but other countries really don't have much information about this type of nuclear reactor that's much safer and greener for the environment. So once US and UK finish making these reactors, other countries will get to know about it and they'll also start investing, since UK and US are great powers in the world. So they have influence on other countries.
Can you elaborate?
So is this model more cost effective?
It is cost effective. It is more cost effective than other nuclear reactors in the market. You save, to make a nuclear reactor, this nuclear reactor costs about $1 billion compared to about $4 to $6 billion for the other reactors. But if you are a consumer, you would just have to pay $60 for getting 1 megawatt of energy in 1 hour. And that's a lot.
Stephanie, you had a question?
I was thinking about the costs. I was thinking about the costs to create these and to maintain them, and where that is born.
The cost would be given by the governments of various countries, and instead of investing into fossil fuels, they would invest here. So it would provide much more energy in lesser cost. That's the advantage.
Nuclear has sort of a mixed reputation, right? How would you sort of convince governments or other entities to make an investment in something that might not be very popular?
Yeah, so the problem with nuclear reactors is that governments used older technologies that didn't really, they didn't have safety measures, they didn't have safety protocols. But this nuclear reactor, SMRs, they don't use outside water to cool the reactor. So it makes them much more safer. And if you think about mining, some people say uranium mining is dangerous. Some people say uranium mining causes cancer. and it causes radioactive problems. That is true partly, but if you use good forced ventilation systems in underground mines, then the exposure to these nuclear radioactive materials is very low, and that is within the safety levels.
Thank you.
I'd like to add one point. The SMR itself, in its technology, it has smaller radioactive inventory than other reactors out there. So it's basically has an environmental.
That's great. Apurva, more time, or should we just move
20
on now?
seconds. 20 seconds in case any last question.
Any
Judy?
last question? Okay. Looks like with this, we have come to the end of all the presentations. I must say thank you all the presenters here. You all came across as very confident and amazing speakers. I remember when I was of your age, I couldn't utter a single word in front of my parents, let alone the audience that we are having today. So great, kudos to you all. Now moving forward, we'll give jury 10 minutes to decide the winning teams. Of course, very excited about that. So we have assigned a breakout room for Stephanie, Mr. Agarwal, and Carl. You're most welcome to move to the breakout rooms, and you can join back after 10 minutes. And while they're gone, we would be presenting about University of Arizona offerings. So be here, be patient with us, and we are happy to have you here. So we would request Yuri to move to the breakout room. If you can see the breakout room here. Mr. Agarwal, can you see the breakout room? And Stephanie, okay, and Carl, please. Great. So my colleague Apurva would be now presenting about University of Arizona while the jury is making a decision. So for quick 10 minutes, over to you, Apurva, now.
Thank you so much, Anju. All the teams were amazing. We were so intrigued, by all the presentations. Very, very interesting. Whoever wins, all of you, it's a big deal. Out of 327 teams, you all are here. So, I think that's the positive. My name is Apurva. I represent the University of Arizona alongside Ms. Anju, who is in the up north, and I am based out of Mumbai. Like Anju, I'm also a resource for students who are looking to know more about the university. I'm going to quickly take you all through some interesting, facts about the University of Arizona. By now, I'm sure you've already researched because, you've been such an important part of our annual competition. University of Arizona was founded in 1885. We have an amazing student population on campus, about 35,000 plus undergraduate students. We have about 10,000 plus graduate students, and our international students range between 7 to 9% every year. We are considered as one of the top universities, public research universities in US. Our research funding annually ranges above $700 million. Employers say that more than 85% up to 89% actually, that our graduates exceed their peers. Now, where are we located? I'm sure that most of you know the map of US very well, and you know where all the states are located. The state of Arizona is in the southwest, and we are in Tucson, which is a city with an amazing global reach. It has great proximity to cities like, or places like California, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Santiago, and more. It is in the top 10 places to live in by the Business Insider. It has been also nominated in the fantastic food category by UNESCO as a city of gastronomy. There are amazing restaurants, that serve some really great food. It's culturally very diverse. It has convenient public transport, diverse landscape. So if you're somebody who like big cities, but also like the feel of, outdoors, or, I think Tucson is a great place to be. It gives you great opportunities to hike or bike and, the landscape is great. It is in the top cities as far as the best air quality is concerned. In the US, the average temperatures are great, making it extremely comfortable for Indian students to live there, especially when you're looking to do your undergraduate or master's. You're going to spend considerable time there. The cost of living is very low as compared to most American cities, and you will see how. So here you can see that the cost of living is one of the lowest. New York City is the highest. You can see Boston is also 56% higher than Tucson. So is Los Angeles and Seattle. You can see a fair comparison. The University of Arizona is a great mix of students with, of course, academically talented students, but we also have some amazing other resources where students can be a part of. We have different clubs, organizations. It's a beautiful 400+ acre campus. Campus housing is available. There are about 23 dorms. There is convenient and safe public transportation even within the campus. Everything is walking distance, or you can take your cycle to most restaurants or shops inside the campus. To tell you a little more about the student life, like I mentioned, it has many clubs and organizations that you can be a part of. Just like all of you, we have clubs related to entrepreneurship. We have clubs related to sustainability, psychology, business, more. There is 100% engagement that we expect from students, and vice versa. There are career development teams that help you pan out, your next steps in your career, what credits to pick, what job interviews to give, which internships to do, etc. There are 9 museums, including the Arizona State Museum and Biosphere 2. So as far as the resources are concerned, it is great. We have an amazing studio for students who study architecture. We have observatories for our astronomy students, and it is one of the best in the nation. The student to faculty ratio is kept to the minimum, about 15 to 20 students per classroom, not more than that. We have about 300+ undergraduate majors that we offer. So we have something for everybody. We are extremely popular with, some majors, and I'll let you know which are those. But apart from that, it is extremely important that, we represent diversity. So we have students who belong to more than 120 different countries. And every year, this number is just increasing. Like you can see, we have a state-of-art, technology on campus with a lot of modern amenities, equipments, classrooms, laboratories. They are one of the best. In fact, by Travel and Leisure, we were often regarded as one of the most beautiful colleges in Arizona. These are, some other feathers to our cap. We have some of the best award-winning professors. The faculty that we have is some of the best. They're not just from the academic background, but they're also from the industry. So they come with a lot of first-hand experience, which is extremely useful for all students. We have Nobel Prize winners, we have Pulitzer Prize winners, on our campus. And you can see that every faculty, engineering, sciences, art, are parts of great associations, and they bring a lot to the campus. As far as the scholarships and aids are concerned, University of Arizona definitely considers education as an investment. And we know that sometimes for international students, it is a little tough to invest. All of us have our own budgets. So we often, give global wildcat awards, which range, and this year they are up to $22,000 US. So especially if any of you are looking for fall 2022, you can reach out to us for scholarships. There are also scholarships for spring 2022. These are all merit scholarships that are available. They are competitive in nature. So reach out to me or Anju to know more about these. These are some of our excellent rankings. We often, are in the top 20 public research universities. Our mining, astronomy, optical science, engineering programs are some of the best. We are in the top 5 usually for MIS. In fact, I think this year we were #1 for our MIS degree. And our online bachelor's, has always been an important part of our campus. So if at all, you have that opinion that you want to begin your studies online, maybe, a couple of semesters, maybe 1 or 2 semesters, we also have some opportunities for that. This is a little more about the campus. It's a beautiful campus. We have on-campus housing, lots of amenities. You can see we have, in each of your rooms, depending on your budget, you can pick from the dorms that are available for you. These are some of our popular majors, from aerospace to astronomy to architecture. These are just a few. Like I mentioned, we have about 300 plus majors, and there is something for everybody out there. How do you apply to the University of Arizona? You just have to reach out to me or Anju, and we can guide you with the process. But if you are researching, go on the website, there is everywhere.arizona.edu. Most of the links will take you to the main campus applications. If you get in touch with us, we can also offer you an application fee waiver. But apart from that, we're also available on Common App. So there are multiple ways for you to do your application. We look at the last 3 years of your transcript, depending on what curriculum you're studying, whether it's IB, A levels, we can also determine in advance whether you will need an English proficiency test, to support your application. We also have the amazing honors program. So if you're looking to apply for honors, there is a slightly separate application. But again, honors is something that's only available in US. So those of you who have like slightly higher GPA can take advantage of these, right? These are the multiple study options we have. We of course have the main campus option where you're physically on campus for all 4 years to do your undergraduate degree. We have the online plus the transition to the main campus, which means that you can study a couple of courses online here in India, and then you can take a transition to the main campus. We have 100% online bachelor's programs that we offer, wherein you complete the course, the entire course fully online. We also have some dual degrees that are available. We have some really reputed study partners here in India, some really reputed universities, and with them we do the 2+2 or even at the master's level we do a couple of programs. So if you want more information about them, do visit our website to know all our study partners in India. It is a very simple process. You can get in touch with us, and once you are accepted, you can pay the enrollment fees. The teams help you receive your I-20 and proceed with your student visa application. Now, this is another great highlight, and I think most of you here, will fit in this particular category of students that can opt for the early university.
Apurva, you there?
Yes, Anju. Can you not hear me?
Apurva? Okay, looks like we are not able.
Anju, can you hear me?
Students who have good GPA, let's say about 3.5 or higher, can apply for Arizona Academy. So this academy basically links international high school students with professors who are teaching high quality courses online at the University of Arizona. So if you really wanted to, build your profile or make a strong profile, you wanted to earn credits to study at any US university, this would be a great chance for you to go ahead and apply. As we speak, we are inviting applications for the future intakes. And as I said, we would be more than happy to assist you to make an application for Uarizona Academy. The students who are here with us today studying in class 11th and 12th, definitely a great opportunity for you to go ahead and apply, because this is something very unique we offer through Uarizona Academy. So moving on, Apurva. Okay, so we are on I think the tail of the presentation. If you are interested in any of our offerings, be it the bachelor's programs, or you want to have a better understanding of the criteria of admissions, scholarships, Arizona Academy, we are more than happy to offer our assistance. So reach out to us. I know your generation loves WhatsApping, so we are available on WhatsApp, both of us. Or if you want to drop an email, you want us to meet with us in person or virtually, we are available through Zoom, or we have also started taking or accepting meeting requests in person as well. So if we are in your city. If you feel you want to have a word with us alongside your parents, we'll be more than happy to help and guide you. So with this, definitely we came to the end of the presentation. Do visit our website, which is everywhere.edu. So we can just definitely get you more information about the university offerings. Everything is available for all the international students on Everywhere website. And yes, that's about it. Apurva, you want to ask or add anything while the jury is still deciding?
Thank you, Anju. Yeah, can you hear me now? I'm sorry, I think I got disconnected for a second.
Now you're audible.
Is it
In
better?
fact, what we'll do is, yeah, it's much better. What we'll do is, while jury is still, there's yet to join us back. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, any questions? Okay, I've posted the link to everywhere.arizona.edu. You all can click on it, see the various offerings, and reach out to me or Anju, for any further clarification.
One thing which I think while they're coming back, we can talk about is one regular question, a very common question which comes to us is like about, the stay back options as well, and what are the eligibility criteria for scholarships. So just to let you know, as Apurva mentioned, that when we talk about the criteria of admission, we are looking at, if you are in CBSE ICS board, we are looking at a minimum GPA of 3 on a scale of 4 in your last 3 years of high school. So if currently you're in class 12, we will be considering class 9, 10, and 11th marks. And another question which is coming very often to our way is like whether you guys accept SATs or ACTs. So just to update you, till last year, we were considering SATs and ACT scores for scholarships, but not anymore. After the pandemic sort of struck, we decided to drop that requirement. So if you apply to University of Arizona based on your 9th, 10th, and 11th scores, you would be considered for the scholarship based on that percentage only. So everything that you could do in terms of baking the cake, you've done that. I mean, only the topping is left, which basically you will be doing by making a strong application. And both of us would be very, very happy to assist you in making a strong application to apply to University of Arizona.
Great. I think the jury is back.
Already back. Welcome back, guys, everyone. Thank you. So are we ready to announce the winning teams? Stephanie, Mr. Agarwal, and Kar?
Okay.
Great.
Do you want to let them know the order, Anju? Are we going in any particular order?
We'll start with Professor Agarwal. If we can announce the second runners-up team. Over to you, Mr. Agarwal.
I think we'll let Stephanie do all of them. Number 3, 2, and 1. That'll flow better.
Okay. We are fine. Stephanie,
we are fine either ways. Yeah, we are excited to hear the winners.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I would like to just say what an amazing opportunity that I personally was able to experience today, along with all of you, to just hear such incredibly creative ideas and so much focus on research and analysis. It was just really an impressive evening. I couldn't ask for a better way to spend my Friday night here in Arizona. And so the judges and my colleagues had an opportunity to talk about the different projects, and every single one had tremendous merit. Every single one of them did, without fail. But for the second runner-up or third place, we would like to recognize Project Umid, which I learned tonight means hope.
Drum rolls.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations, Project Umid.
Congratulations.
Very impressive.
Would you like to switch your cameras on? Sorry.
Yeah, Project Umid, please switch your cameras on.
You all can switch your cameras on. We would like to see the excitement on your faces, so feel free. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great. So shall we just move ahead to the second runners-up team now, Stephanie?
Certainly. So for the second runner-up team, we chose Samaritans.
Okay, so Samaritan's Aerospace, is it? DPS Archipel? Great.
Great.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Aerospace.
Can you switch on your camera, please?
Actually, just give me a minute then.
Sure,
Thank you,
sure.
ma'am.
We were so impressed with all of these presentations, and then this one in particular, all of the different renderings and the models and all of the things were just very impressive.
Great. Great. Thank you. And now on to the winning team. So the start.
I'm sure this
time
was
starts-
very tough. Yeah, I'm sure this was very
Very,
tough.
very tough.
Terribly
Yeah.
difficult. This is very difficult. But the winning team is Eco Warriors.
Yay!
Wow. Yes,
Wow,
very good.
congratulations.
Congratulations, Lodha World School, Palava, Thane, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Abhinaya
Congratulations.
and Hairat, congratulations. I'm looking forward
Thank
to
you.
those
Thank you very
eco-friendly-
much.
eco-friendly
Switch on.
sanitizers.
Yeah,
I
switch
have
on
good
your
news,
cameras.
guys.
We could be your
We
first
were-
customers.
Yes, ma'am.
We were so impressed by the thought that went into that, the relevance. I personally thought those were gorgeous slides. The content was really thoughtfully done, and I think very practical and very useful.
That's
Thank you.
really
Thank you very much. It's really an honor.
We'll just give you a quick 1 minute to each one of you. If you want to say something,
Yeah.
please go ahead. We'll start with the winning team and then moving
Yeah.
on to the
We would
first
love
runners
to,
and
yeah, we
second.
would love to
Love
hear
to
your
hear.
experience participating, in this initiative by the University of Arizona. Please go ahead.
Yeah, the one
Actually,
thing.
we were
Continue.
texting on WhatsApp and we were like, okay, third position. Okay, second position. Then we lost hope. We were like, okay, it's okay, it's okay. We participated at least. But then the first, I was just like, oh.
We couldn't believe it, actually. It's really an honor.
Yes, ma'am.
The first thing we would like to say, everyone, is we only have one planet and we need to save it because we live in it. And we need to take care of it.
Definitely. Thank you, Team Eco Warriors. So moving on, if we can invite DPS Archipuram team to say a couple of words, please.
Yes, we are very honored to get runners up in this competition, and we learned a lot during the whole process. And we will continue to work towards sustainable development and the betterment of the planet. And thanks a lot to University of Arizona for giving us this opportunity to showcase our ideas in front of all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Project
On
to Meet.
Project to Meet now, David.
Yeah, it was a very, very good learning experience. All these amazing projects that take different ideas and put them into implementation. I was really amazed to see what all these different aspects towards these approaches towards sustainability that were taken. And honestly, it's a very great honor to be one of the winning teams. And the whole idea behind Project to Meet is to make the lives of farmers easier, to make to give them some literacy, to give them hope that they have a good future ahead of them. And this competition surely made us progress further and will give us support in order to move further with our project and also implement it at a very large scale, hopefully actually implementing it in 5,000 villages. Thank you.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With this, we come to the end of very beautiful, amazing